I'm great. You know, it's Thursday. I'm one of those people that starts getting ready for the weekend on Thursdays, so today's like my favorite day of the week. Oh man, I just believe in having a lot of interests so that you can always have a lot of things going at the exact same time because all of these art forms are that you listed are collaborative and they take a lot of people to be interested at the same time in the project. So I say have a lot of things going so that when the one is ready and the money's there and everyone's schedules line up, you can do that one. You know what I mean? Like that's how I choose, kind of having a lot of options always ready. And then the one that's ready in line first, we do it. Well, thank you. I love Unlicensed. I came on board because I worked with Welcome to Night Vale and love Joseph and Jeffrey. Met them through another podcast called The Thrilling Adventure Hour. And then I was working with these actors who, we were doing this one podcast together, but they were talking about this new one called Night Vale, and I really wanted to be involved. So I started messaging Joseph on Twitter, and I was like, I love everything I'm hearing about the show. It's so interesting. It's so different. Like, is there anything I could do? Uh, and so luckily they let me come on and play one of those great intern roles. And then I kept working with them, doing different voices for Night Vale, did a couple tours. And so when Unlicensed came up and they, kind of told me the log line, like I was so in. And I told them whenever they had it ready, I I was just right there. I couldn't wait to play the part of Molly Hatch. That her name is Molly is like still confusing to me. But yeah, that's how it all came together. Just me being a fan of Welcome to Night Vale and then becoming friends with, everyone over there basically. And then getting to make, this other new art form out of that. So out of fandom and friendship. No, they're absolutely based on our names. Joseph and Jeffrey like have they have such a quirky sense of humor. But it's really interesting how like we share the name, but the characters are really different from us. Uh, but there are these tie-ins, since Joseph and Jeffrey have known me for a really long time. A big storyline for Molly Hatch is her sobriety. And in my own life, I've been sober for like 6 years now, I think. So seeing that and how they craft that into a whole new character, but using parts of my life, it instantly connects you. So there is kind of that hybridness of the names being and the characters being of us and also completely new. She is so cool. I really wish we got to record together. So far, we've done everything separately because she's based on the East Coast and I'm on the West Coast. And it's just one of the really cool things about doing podcasts is, you just get to get right into the studio and like get it done, with all the other things you have going on in your life. So it's hard to give up that convenience, but it would be really fun to record together and also hopefully do some live shows together. Like that would be a hope for me in Unlicensed. Yeah. Of course not. Of course not. No, not at all. And thank you. That's really sweet. It means a lot to me because one of the things I love about Castle is that it was a show that connected people, brought people together. And that means a lot to me because I think that connection with other people is, that's really the joy of life. And when I was auditioning for it, it was back, when there were a lot of pilots that would get made, and only a couple went to series, it was a real, cross your fingers and hope type thing. And I was also 14 years old. So I was just having fun. I wasn't thinking about success or really a career. I just read this script that was really cool and had a character that I understood. I liked Alexis. I wanted to be friends with Alexis. I remember feeling that way. And and then after the first audition, getting the call back, that was exciting because it was always good to know that, people liked you and who doesn't like positive affirmation. But that's when I met Nathan. And as soon as I met Nathan, I just kind of became obsessed. I was like, I really, really want to spend more time with this person. He was encouraging and supportive and just a really great role model who turned into an awesome friend. So I'm really, really, really glad that I got to play Alexis and that I got to meet all those wonderful people, but especially Nathan, because I don't know, it just he felt, he felt like someone I wanted to grow up and be. I just really connected with him. So that's what made me excited and that the show was popular. I mean, I guess he just has that star power, right? And I guess that's part of what I was attracted to too, in that audition space. So I'm not surprised it was a success, and I love the rookie and that he's like spun off and is doing more things and creating other awesome shows. Like I'll be a fan forever. Heartwarming uh, and surprising, especially as it kept going. I remember kind of after like season 5, probably wondering at people continuing on the journey with us. Like I loved what we were making, but to have that type of longevity and to grow in popularity, yeah, that was we were a bit of a unicorn in that way. So I still, if anything, just feel kind of awed by it. It was it was really great. I didn't interfere too much with the creation of Alexis. She started to become very different from who I was as Molly Quinn, and I think that was really healthy. Especially because like at those ages when I was like 16, 17, 18, um, I think if they had been too close, it it wouldn't have been great for me as a person. So then I was really just focusing on getting the material for this character of Alexis because what, Nathan and I created, like our dynamic in the show, that's really where everything came from. So as long as that line was there, the only note I think I ever really had was like, Alexis will always have her dad's back. She will never side with anyone else. So like I think when things got a little tricky, I remember when she was dating Pi, I think that was probably the one time where I was like, okay, like I can see where this is going. I think it's important for development. But we have to bring this around in a way to that she's her family will always come first. Her father will always come first. Uh, so yeah, it was nice at that age to actually be creating almost a new person who was pretty different from myself. It was super fun. The character of Ashley was really wild. I think, that first introduction to me being, a bit more of a wayward child and the total like 180 flip in the relationship between Nathan's character on The Rookie and mine as well was really fun for people. And that was a really cool, like tongue-in-cheek thing to do. When they brought me back for the next episode, I was really touched, and that the episode, got to dive a little deeper into Ashley and what she was going through, and having a pretty just a disaster of a father in that show. So for me, it was really special to do this scene where, you know, she confides in in Nathan, just as a stranger. So getting to work with Nathan in a completely new environment, was really special. Uh, yeah, and I still just kind of pinch myself that I got to do it. Um, I think Mike is a visionary. Um, Anytime he asks me to work for him, I will do it. Um, you know, Script unseen. If he thinks I can do something, then I believe in myself. Like he has that ability to inspire, and I've, you know, never met anyone quite like that. So getting to be a part of the life of Chuck, which is so near and dear to his heart. Oh man, I I'm just really grateful. I just feel like one of the luckiest people alive. Well, my big thought reading the script was I I told Mike that if all I ever got to do was read it, I I would be happy. Um, it was life affirming reading it. It felt like he had visually captured, Stephen King's words and a vision of the world that a perspective, a way to see your life that I really try to live by, but hadn't ever hadn't been aware that others felt that way too. So it kind of felt like coming home. Oh, I play without spoilers. I can say that I play a very loving presence in the film. Ooh, um, let's see. I just finished shooting a independent film in Toronto called The Wait. And it's a crazy thriller, uh, very, a girl trying to escape a very tricky situation. And I am on pins and needles to like see a cut of the film because I think we, we definitely really tried to make something, you know, just a little bit more daring, like, just a little spicier. So I'm excited to start seeing that and then hopefully bring that to a wider audience, fingers crossed, in 2025.